Good morning, good morning, good morning, Facebook. It is Wednesday morning. We are halfway through the week, the last week of July, which puts us halfway through the year. Hope everybody is having a good morning today. I love doing these new lives, like almost like storytelling. Normally, if you know me, I do Facebook videos daily. I upload maybe 2 to 3 videos a day. That's how I've made my living. But Facebook Live is the new platform. More people are watching videos on Facebook than they are watching on YouTube. And I was up late last night. Actually, I never really went to sleep. But I found an article, and it was by the CEO of Mercedes-Benz. And he was talking about the future. He was talking about what is life going to be like 20 years from now, in an age of innovation, technology, and even CEO of car dealerships. They're always looking at the future, how it's going to affect their bottom line. And he has his own predictions on where he's looking at the trends on what life is going to be like 20 years from now. And I love forecasting. I love following the trends. I love looking at where we're going to be headed because that kind of opens the door for opportunities. You know where to maneuver yourself. So I want to share this article. I think I read this maybe 3 a.m. this morning. But here it goes. In a recent interview, the MD of Daimler-Benz, Mercedes-Benz, said their competitors are no longer other companies, except Tesla, obviously, but Tesla, Google, Apple, and Amazon. Why would a car company think that Tesla, Google, Apple, Amazon is their main competitor? Here's how it starts. Software will disrupt most traditional industries in the next 5 to 10 years. Software. Uber is just a software tool. They don't own any cars and are now the biggest taxi company in the world. Airbnb is now the biggest hotel company in the world, although they don't own any properties. Artificial intelligence. Computers become exponentially better in understanding the world. This year, a computer beat the best Go player in the world 10 years earlier than expected. In the U.S., young lawyers already don't get jobs. Because of IBM Watson, you can get legal advice so far for more or less basic stuff within seconds with 90% accuracy compared with 70% accuracy when done by humans. So if you study law, stop immediately. There will be 90% less lawyers in the future. Only specialists will remain. Watson already helps nurses diagnosing cancer, 4 times more accurate than human nurses. Facebook now has a pattern recognition software that can recognize faces better than humans. In 2030, computers will become more intelligent than humans. Autonomous cars. In 2018, the first self-driving cars will appear for the public. Around 2020, the complete industry will start to be disrupted. You don't want to own a car anymore. You will have a car with your phone. It will show up at your location and drive you to your destination. You will not need to park it. You only pay for the drive distance and can be productive while driving. Our kids will never get a driver's license and will never own a car. This is the CEO of Mercedes is saying this. It will change the cities because we will need 90 to 95% fewer cars. We can transform former parking spaces into parks. 1.2 million people die each year in car accidents worldwide. We now have 1 accident every 60,000 miles. With autonomous driving, that will drop to 1 accident in 6 million miles. That will save 1 million lives a year. Most car companies will probably become bankrupt. Traditional car companies try the evolutionary approach just build a better car, while tech companies, Tesla, Apple, Google, will do the revolutionary approach and build a computer on wheels. I like that. A computer on wheels. Many engineers from Volkswagen and Audi are completely terrified of Tesla. Insurance companies will have massive trouble because without accidents, the insurance will become 100 times cheaper. Their car insurance business model will disappear. You know, whenever you have innovation in one industry, there's a ripple effect. It affects other industries. Real estate will change because if you can work while you commute, people will move further away to live in a more beautiful neighborhood. Electric cars will become mainstream about 2020. Cities will be less noisy because all new cars will run on electricity. Electricity will become cheap and clean. Solar production has been on an exponential curve for 30 years, but you can now see the burgeoning impact. Last year, more solar energy was installed worldwide than fossil. Energy companies are desperately trying to limit access to the grid to prevent competition from home solar installations, but that can't last. Technology will take care of that strategy. With cheap electricity comes cheap and abundant water. Desalination of salt water now only needs 2 kilowatts per cubic meter at 25 cents. We don't have scarce water in most places. We only have scarce drinking water. So imagine what will be possible if anyone can have as much clean water as he or she wants for nearly no cost. Health. The tricorder X price, the tricorder from Star Wars, will be announced this year. There are companies who will build a medical device called the tricorder from Star Trek that works with your phone, which takes your retina scan, your blood sample, and you breathe into it. There's apps already doing stuff like this right now. I've got the Samsung Galaxy S8, and it's got this button on the back of my phone. I just put my finger on, and it's able to measure my blood pressure, my heart rate, all that kind of stuff, or heart rate, health stuff. It's cool. Now, it then analyzes 54 biomarkers that will identify nearly any disease. It will be cheap, so in a few years, everyone on this planet will have access to world-class medical analysis nearly for free. Start to say goodbye to the medical establishment. 3D printing. Now, this is cool. My oldest son is real interested in this stuff. The price of the cheapest 3D printer came down from $18,000 to $400 within 10 years. In the same time, it became 100 times faster. All major shoe companies have already started 3D printing shoes. Some spare airplane parts are already 3D printed in remote airports. The space station now has a printer that eliminates the need for the large amount of spare parts they used to have in the past. At the end of this year, new smartphones will have 3D scanning possibilities. You can then 3D scan your feet and print your perfect shoe at home. Oh, that's cool. In China, they already 3D printed and built a complete 6-story office building. I saw that on Tech TV. By 2027, 10% of everything that's being produced will be 3D printed. Business opportunities. If you think of a niche you want to go in, ask yourself, in the future, do you think we will have that? If the answer is yes, how can you make that happen sooner? If it doesn't work with your phone, forget the idea. That's powerful right there. And any idea designed for success in the 20th century is doomed to failure in the 21st century. Work. 70 to 80% of jobs will disappear in the next 20 years, jobs as we know it. There will be a lot of new jobs, but it is not clear if there will be enough new jobs in such a small time. Agriculture. There will be a $100 agricultural robot in the future. Farmers in third world countries can then become managers of their field instead of working all day on their fields. Aeroponics will need much less water. The first Petri dish produced veal is now available and will be cheaper than cow-produced veal in 2018. Right now, 30% of all agricultural surfaces is used for cows. Imagine if we don't need that space anymore. There are several startups who will bring insect protein to the market shortly. It contains more protein than meat. It will be labeled as alternative protein source because most people still reject the idea of eating insects. Good morning to you, Miss Humphrey. There is an app called Moody's. I saw this. I haven't tried it yet. because I don't need to monitor my moods. But Moody's, which can already tell in which mood you're in. By 2020, there will be apps that can tell by your facial expressions if you're lying. Uh-oh. Can you imagine your wife, you're out on a date, or your girlfriend or something, asking you a question and holding the phone up to your face? Interrogation style. Imagine a political debate where it's being displayed when they're telling the truth and when they're not. Oh, that's funny. Let's all be lying. Bitcoin. Now you got my attention. Bitcoin may even become the default reserve currency of the world. This is not me saying this. This is the CEO of Mercedes-Benz. Let me repeat that one more time. Because in this entire article, it's only mentioned once. Bitcoin may even become the default reserve currency of the world. Longevity. Right now, the average lifespan increases by 3 months per year. 4 years ago, the lifespan used to be 79 years. Now it's 80 years. The increase itself is increasing and by 2036, there will be more than 1 year increase per year. So we all might live for a long, long time, probably way more than 100. If I live more than 100, I want it to be at least quality. I don't want to be stuck in some wheelchair or something like that. But I just turned 41 this month. So I'm excited. I'm kind of on the back end of this now, maybe more for my kids. But as fast as technology is moving, I'm really excited to see just where things are going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Education. The cheapest smartphones are already at $10 in Africa and Asia. By 2020, 70% of all humans will own a smartphone. That means everyone has the same access to world-class education. Every child can use Khan Academy for everything a child needs to learn at school in first world countries. There have already been releases of software in Indonesia, and soon there will be releases in Arabic, Swahili, and Chinese this summer. I can see enormous potential if we give the English app for free so that children in Africa and everywhere else can become fluent in English, and that could happen within half a year. That's the article, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys came on late when I stopped this, you can come back to my page and hear from the beginning. This was an article and an interview that was done by the CEO of Mercedes-Benz, where he talked about where he sees what the world is going to look like, how our lives are going to be dramatically changed in the next 20 years. The biggest thing that I am most interested in is the blockchain, the cryptocurrency, how that is going to remodel the world. The SEC here in the United States is already trying to regulate it some form of way. That's not a negative thing. What basically they're telling you is we can't stop this. Reagan had an old saying back in the day. Either you create it. If you can't create it, you regulate it. If you can't regulate it, you tax it. If you can't tax it, you regulate it. They can't stop it, so they're trying to figure out how to regulate it and then how to tax it. It's happening, whether we like it or not. I basically hit the reset button on my career. It's difficult. But you cannot keep doing the same things you've been doing in the past and expect to move forward in the future. You're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to change. And it starts with changing your mindset. You got to change. It is not, I hate change. Personal change. It's painful. And it's painful because it's new and it's a new routine. But once you get back in that new routine again, then it becomes a little bit more easier for you. But a major change is happening in front of our eyes right now, and it's happening very, very fast. You might thought the internet snuck up on you. But what's taking place with all of this software development is happening at lightning speed. So thank you guys for listening. I just read this article at 3 a.m. this morning and wanted to share it with you guys. Have a great Wednesday. And those of you that are following me on the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency world, today is cut off. Tonight, take a free tour. Get educated at least. Forget all these crap companies popping up trying to spat out Bitcoin nonsense. With the SEC's ruling today, they're considering it a security. So any company that is MLM side, network marketing side, that is turning around talking about you buy Bitcoins and coins from us, and then we're going to double your money in 90 days and 30 days and 60 days, we guarantee. You hear words like that, the SEC is going to be on them like white on rice, especially if they are here in the United States. Be careful. What I offer is an education platform. Take the free tour. TeachMeCrypto.net or BitcoinBrandon.com. BitcoinBrandon.com. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.